In the second week of January 1988, I arrived in Tembisa, and I remember vividly how I walked cautiously from Oakmore Station down past the busy shopping center of the late Victor Mahuri on the right-hand side of the road, with the Situha men's hostel behind it, and right through that hectic flea market on the large open space where one could buy anything from live mopani worms to roasted chicken walkaways, and across the road, now named RTJ Namani, on the other side was an ancient-looking church building with a sprawling steel roof house next to it, otherwise known as house number 633 Sidibeng section. That was to be my home for the next few years. Upon my arrival, I found a small assemblage of loud and gregarious church elders seated outside, awaiting my arrival with excitement. Among the elders who gathered to welcome me to Tembisa was Mrs. Doris Mihloti Mathabathe. The next day, she, the late Mrs. Mongwana, and old man Nisi came back to check if my landing had been soft enough and if there was anything they could do to make my arrival even more comfortable. And so started a lifetime of friendship and collegiality between me and Mrs. Mathabathe. Slowly but surely, she adopted me and signed me up as her son, in addition to her biological children and the children of her sisters. In that way, I was duly registered as a member of the Baloi extended family, so that nothing happened in the family, whether it was a birth or a death, without my involvement, one way or the other. In the process, Mrs. Mathabathe became more than a mere fellow church member. She became my mother, she became my counselor, she became my friend, she became my motivator, she became one of my harshest critics on the one hand, and one of my fiercest defenders on the other. How she maintained that balance, I don't know. I was young, I was driven, I was ambitious, and I was very argumentative in those days. Mrs. Doris Mathabathe was just the kind of wise elder I needed in my life. From her, I knew that I would always receive two things: the support I wanted and the truth I needed. When I graduated with my honors degree, Mrs. Mathabathe was there to applaud me. When I went to do my master's degree in the USA, some elders in the church wryly asked, "What do you need all this education for?" But Mistress Mathabathe, as I used to call her, said to me, "Don't listen to them, go for it." She said the same when, upon my return from the USA, I began reading for my doctorate. And when I was awarded the PhD degree at UNISA with the late Nelson Mandela in the procession, who was there to cheer me on but Mrs. Doris Mathabathe? Her fellow teachers at Tembisa High School will remember that I was the regular consumer of many cups of tea and demolisher of saucers full of scones in the office of Mrs. Mathabathe at Tembisa High. I did not know it then, but actually, Mrs. Mathabathe was my coach, and she never charged me a cent for it. When she moved to Sizwe Secondary School as principal, I became the first chairperson of the governing body. One day, I will write about that school and how it got to get the name that it has. Now, I am but one representative of the many sons and daughters, non-biological, that have been raised by Mrs. Mathabathe. What I know for sure is that had I not met her on that faithful day in January 1988, I would not have been even a fraction of the man I have become. Lokangi marito yo cancer, imapololo, anzito ya kelela ntitativa ku cancer Rudolph, jaharaka mahunzi mwanati, nangamu yakwe nwa Mathabathe. Lokangi ndza swikota kendla swendleka, n'we vambirhi a ndzi ta mi hambela xidlodlo xa kendliwa hi koporo yi pfanganyisiwe na nsuku, ndzi mi ambexa xona etinhlokweni. Lokangi a ndo va na xikhudza xa mafurha lawa yo durha ya risima, a ndzi ta tota wena jaha ra ka mahundzi, ti tota na mukhegulu wa wena Tinyiko, eku mi vonga loko mi ondlile mana wa hina, mi va mi n'wi ongola hi malwandla. Rirhandzu ra n'wina ri kala no durha ku tlula tindzalama ta misava leyi. Xikwembu i xinene, xi ta horisa timbanga hinkwato ta timbilu ta n'wina ku kondza mi hlakarhela, n'wina na vana va n'wina. Inaka ndi nga si na tshama ehansi mhaku ni ku muka swa hombe khalanga, etlela vurhongo wena n'wa Johanisi, emintirho ya wena ya karhi ku vulavula. Hinkwako lomu u nga hundza kona emikondzo ya wena a yi thunyeki, yi lo tlanga ndla erivaleni. Hikuva hambi ko ba lexi dumaka, wena a wu khoma la ku hisaka. Namuntlha tinghohe ta hina ti mpfempfa nyuku wa nhlomulo ni gome, na tona timbilu ta hina ti ba hi mahika, kambe a hi kanakani ku angula hi ku muka ka rikwenu wena Mihloti u nga khuguki futhi u nga jili, hikuva etintsumi ta Xikwembu ti rindze wena le ntsungeni wa sirha, eku veni ti ku qhavulela loko u ku jajaha. Mani ku ke hi ri etlela hi ku rhula mdondolovhani, wena ngungungu wa xihlomulu wa gulukulu wa nchangameri, khalanga mulobyi, munyayi ku pinda, soko ra gwambe, phucho yoyo xa Maybank. Inkomo.